dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy.
Guys, this is not good. All right, you guys, I was able to limp it off the highway a little bit here. It was kind of a now or never chance opportunity, so I decided to take it. And we're at least off the highway. Still waiting for the tow truck. Fortunately, we don't have that far to go. Should probably look into getting a trailer, you know? Okay, guys, as you saw, stuck on the side of the highway, car died. Gonna try to do a quick diagnosis here in the garage. Just want to show you guys what exactly it's doing, what's going on with it. It sounds like it might have lost an entire bank of cylinders again, possibly. I got my wife to help me out. We're gonna start up the car and just get it going. This really sucks. I don't know how else to go about it. Unfortunately, I didn't even have my computer connected to it because it was still connecting as I was mid-pull. We'll see what happens when the time comes to dive into this and see what's actually wrong with it. It's just very unfortunate. This sucks. Last night, I dropped the car off at home here. I ended up just opening up. I started it a couple times just to listen to it. It's like 8 o'clock at night right now. I just got home from work, ate dinner with the family. Long story short, I'm here today because I'm on a very tight schedule right now. And if I can figure out what this is, and if it's what I'm hoping it is, we'll have this thing back up and running. What I'm really hoping it is very simple. And that is the fact that just a spark plug, not necessarily blew out of the cylinder, but just kind of crumbled. And it's not making spark anymore. So I'm gonna pull the intake manifold off, pull a spark plug or two, or all of them, just for the hell of it at this point. I don't even know if I have spare spark plugs, but that's the plan for right now. And then just to see where it's at, see what the condition of anything is. That way, if I need to, I can look kind of down in the cylinders and maybe get a better idea. And then we can run compression tests and leak down tests as needed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just you, me, and the odds. We stuck together, we two peas in a pod. You dealt a bad hand, I'm there seizing the cards. We'll never be separated till we see in the gods. We've been low together, high forever. Long as we go together, we'll die.
Okay, so I forgot to hit the record button on this side. Like I said, I apologize. I'm in a big rush here. Pulled them all out. This one here and this one here looked okay. This one has a lot of oil in it. Now I'm not gonna lie, I did spill a little bit of oil, so it may have ran down on top, and then as soon as I removed it, it fell down in. So that could be a possibility there. Oh man, I don't know, you guys. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. The gasket looks good. I know it had good air fuels. I just don't know what could have happened. I'm gonna hook up the compression tester. I wanna turn it over first, actually. I wanna disable the fuel injectors and then turn it over and see how it sounds anyways, at least. Let's get the computer hooked up, disable fuel injectors, and I'll get my compression tester out, and we'll check compression across all the cylinders then. All right, so I got my compression tester gauge right there. You guys probably can't see it, but I can. I got my fuel injectors disabled over here, and I'll go ahead and crank it right now to see what we got. That's scary. That gauge isn't moving at all. Okay, let's try the next cylinder here. Alright, cylinder 2 has 150 psi of compression. I'm gonna go back to cylinder number 2 and we're gonna try it again. That's not good. We got 0 psi on cylinder 2. It's really not good. I feel as though it may be the exhaust valve. Cylinder 6 is A-okay. Cylinder 1 is good. And what do we got? What do we got? That one is surprisingly good. Cylinder 5. It is. All of them but cylinder 2 get the check. Don't know what happened here. That's hard to believe, honestly. One thing I can think of is pull the exhaust valve cover and see what exactly happened to it. I'm gonna finish this up with my phone, and y'all are just gonna have to like it because my camera just died. Well, the battery just died on my camera, and that's a sign for me to go to bed. But anyways, this is what we're looking at. Hydraulic lifters all look good. It's all clean. So basically, what's gonna have to happen now? I'll probably pull the intake valve cover off just to double check it, and there goes my light. Awesome, definitely a sign to go to bed. But that's gonna do it for tonight. I'm gonna go to bed. We're gonna have to get back to this tomorrow because it's already getting late and I gotta go back to work tomorrow again. Yay! Not too excited about it. I'm not having a good time at work. It's not a fun place to be right now. I'd much rather be doing this. But yeah, unfortunately, that's life. You don't always get to do what you want, right? Well, maybe one day I will. We're working on that. That's why we're doing this, right? Okay, so in the last video, things were going great until they weren't. Well, fortunately, we got wastegates to open up in the car, and it was driving really well. All the data looked awesome. I never got the car over 6,500 RPMs. Now, what I think might have been a potential cause for the failure was as I was getting onto the highway, my laptop was connecting to the car, and I was probably mid-pull as the laptop fully connected. I just wasn't thinking at the time and was like, I just want to do a quick pull and get on the highway. I felt really confident in the car at the time. It didn't happen right away. It wasn't catastrophic damage. I actually drove for another, I don't know, probably 500 feet or so. If you watch the video, I actually looked down and panicked for a second thinking that I had rod knock, and I turned off the car only to turn it right back on right away and then get it up in the RPM and see that oil pressure was good, which tells me that probably the crank and rods are still good. This sucks. This really sucks. You know, you go through all this work, putting the motor together, getting the car ready to go. You're excited. You just want to get out and enjoy it, and then this happens. But anyways, we're gonna find out. We're gonna fix it, and probably come back stronger and better. But we'll see. We'll see what happens once we dive into this, because it could go south really fast, and we'll know probably as soon as I get the leak down test finished. Let's get into this video. Let's get started for today. Okay, so we finished up with the compression test the other night. So today I'm going to start on the leak down test, but I don't need to do all the cylinders. Every single cylinder had 150 psi of compression, which is awesome. Only one that failed was this one right here. This one had absolutely nothing. I'm going to get my air compressor out and push air into this cylinder, and we're going to do a leak down test to see where the air is blowing out of with the valves closed, if there is any exhaust valves. I think I found the problem. Hopefully it's not too extensive and everything's still mostly together and it didn't damage the head. I'm just gonna show you real quick. So I'm running a leak down test. I'm pushing air into the cylinder. Actually, what I was doing was I was actually spinning the motor as I have air being pushed into it. You can hear it. You can hear it literally flowing through the exhaust. And this valve, these valves right here are closed because the cam lobe is at the very top. So it is literally pushing air straight into my exhaust, which tells me valve damage. So anyways, looks like I'm gonna try to pull just the head off and inspect the valves first before pulling the whole motor, because pulling the whole motor is quite the task. Worst case scenario, I pull the head off and there's piston damage. But we won't know until we get in there. Either way, from right now, what I can tell looking down into the cylinder through the spark plug hole, I don't have a camera or anything, but just looking into the spark plug hole, it looks okay. I'm not looking forward to any of this, but let's go ahead and get started on it. I might even get halfway through it and say, screw it, let's just pull the motor. Let me go ahead and get started here. Okay, so I'm just facing one defeat after another today. Basically, long story short, this is my harmonic balancer puller. And it's like half the threads in this are pulled out, and if you can look closely, half the threads in this are stripped. Last time I pulled the harmonic balancer off, I made a dummy and stripped this ever so slightly, which weakened the threads. And now, of course, it's not wanting to pull the pulley off. That makes the timing belt extremely difficult to get off, if not impossible, because now the lower timing cover is covering the tensioner, which I need to remove to get the entire timing belt off. I'm either A, stuck today because I can't pull the timing belt off, or the next order of business is just pulling the motor. You know what, let's just pull the motor, let's get this done and over with. I don't think it'll take me more than about a couple hours. Let's just rip the band-aid off already. I kind of took my time today. I contemplated, you know, pulling just the head or pulling the whole motor. And when push came to shove with the harmonic balancer puller, it turned out to just pulling the motor. Tomorrow the engine's going on the stand. I'm going to break down the motor. Harmonic balancer puller should be in tomorrow as well. Then I can get the timing belt off. We'll see when that gets here. Hopefully it arrives early in the morning. So. Okay guys, back today, got the engine out of the car. We're gonna be breaking it down. I gotta put it back on the engine stand. We're pretty much breaking it back to almost ground zero. I do have a new theory of what happened though. And this one's extremely viable. So when I replaced the valves on this motor, the exhaust valves I had gotten were Manley exhaust valves. It said in the notes to verify the clearance of the exhaust valves before installing and using the valves. I asked around and a couple people said not to worry about it. They've never had any issues. Well, so my theory is basically as the metal expanded and shifted, it bound up against the exhaust valve stem and hung up the exhaust valve at the higher RPM. We won't really know until we pull off the head and verify.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one.
That's a good sign at least. Doesn't look like the cylinder was damaged, no piston damage. I think we're in luck. It's just the one valve. Okay guys, looks like we got the motor all torn down. I got the heads on the table over here. What I'm gonna end up doing, this is the one where the valve bent, kissed the piston, no bueno. So, long story short, these are brand new Manley exhaust valves. Now in the Manley exhaust valve directions, it says at the very bottom that the Manley valves need to be clearanced for the valve guides that are in the motor, yada, yada, yada. Did I do that? No. You could say, oh, didn't you check? Well, I don't have a gauge set, so I didn't shove a gauge down in there to check the clearance 100%. But what I did do was I lapped the valves, and when I lapped the valves, I pulled them up and down to feel how the clearance is from the valve stem to the valve guide. You need about 2 to 4 thousandths of an inch clearance between the valve stem and the valve guide based on what I'm reading now. When I was lapping the valves, I could feel how smoothly the valves went in and out of the valve guides. Now I didn't feel any of the valves catching or anything like that, so I went with the assumption that everything will be okay. Apparently that's not something you should do. When you order new valves for your motor, make sure that the valves are clearanced appropriately to the valve guides. Unfortunately, this is kind of like a live and learn situation. I've never heard of anyone needing to do this before. I guess most of the people I know would probably send the heads off to the machine shop to get new valves installed to begin with. Me, being who I am, I would rather just do it myself. That way I know it's done properly or improperly. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna shut the garage door here because it's gonna come down raining and it's been windy all day. Also, the piston did kiss a little bit. This is not that big of a deal. What I'm gonna do with this is simply just grind it down, get rid of any harsh edges, smooth it out so the piston will be good as new. Obviously, this is not okay. So what I'm gonna have to do is order a new valve at least. I don't know about the valve guide. The valve guide might also be damaged, but we won't know until I get the valve out, which means the cams have to come out, at least on this side. What I'm also going to do is remove all of my exhaust valves from both heads and clearance the valve guides for all of these valves because I don't want it happening again. Honestly, this could have happened to anyone. I've never heard of any single person going out and clearancing their valve guides when installing new valves. You just never hear about it, you never think about it. And for anybody that says, oh, if you have a VG30, you know, you should expect these problems, or VG30 problems, like, no, this isn't a VG30 problem. This could have happened to any motor. Every motor out there has a valve, unless it's a rotary. For lack of better explanation, this is part of it. When you're doing this kind of stuff, when you're building cars, you're racing cars, and you're doing high performance stuff, like this is just unfortunate, but this is what you gotta deal with. This is what you have to look forward to if you haven't dealt with it already. It is what it is. You just gotta fix it, put it back together, and try again. But anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you aren't already. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely learned something today, and I hope you all will get some valuable information out of this as well. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them down in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond to each and every one of you. For now, hope you all have a good one. Take care.
You're a superhero.